Well, Miss Davis, thank you so much for allowing us to come to your room and observe.
Of course.
And that was, I had a lot of fun. I enjoy watching you and watching the kids
Oh,
through the whole learning experience. So how do you think it went? How do you think the lesson went?
I think it went okay. I was a little nervous. You guys were in the room, but I think it went okay. The kids knew a lot more than I thought that they were going to know, so I was really surprised about that. They talked a lot more than they normally do, so that was really good. And they actually knew what was going on, so it was just a good day for me. It was a really good day.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
so
really
it was-
happy. When you were doing the lesson and the instructions, what is one piece that you were like, I noticed that you're talking about the kids, kind of like this is how they reacted. In your teaching piece, what is something that you were like, oh man, I got this today, and then after that, what is something that you're like, next time I want to try this instead?
I think the one thing that I was really glad that I got is that I've really been honing in on what the strip diagram is, and they really got that it was the total and the parts, and they use the vocabulary and they know what they were talking about. So I was really excited about that. The one piece that I'm still working on trying to fit in is the manipulatives, because I know I forgot to do that, but I'm having them do that now, and it's still, kind of putting that in and fitting that in naturally. I'm kind of working on that still, so that's the one thing that I really want to work on, because I really like the manipulatives. I think they're really fun, and the kids get to do something, they're hands-on, and they're moving. They really like that too, so I want to.
And I remember you said that 2 days ago when we were pre-planning, how you, like, I have my baggies here, kids have been using it, we really want to do that.
Yes.
So that
I
was...
prepared everything, and I was like, okay. And I looked around, and I was like, diagram. Okay, guys, so bad. I want you to do some diagram this time. And so they're working on it.
So I'm going to say a few things that I really celebrated, and I will say yes, yes, yes. You had your sentence starters for the kids ready, and you kind of review, and it's like, this is how I want you to start using mathematical language. You had your baggies ready for the kids to use. You kind of give them expectations, what you expected, what to do with the baggies. Let's go ahead and refer to the anchor chart of how we share and how we work together. That was really awesome. I like your tone. It was loud. It was at the right, what's the word I'm looking for? Right. Register. Yeah, thank you. Where everyone can hear clearly, the right pace. You were walking around the room. You had a lot of good questioning for the reviewing piece. I feel like you were asking good questions. I like how when the kids started getting materials, at some point they were taking their time, and you're like, okay, I need you to start, hurry. And it might take a few more days for the kids to like, okay, I have that urgency. But you did that. Now there's a piece that I want to address, and that's kind of what we do during the coaching piece, right? I noticed most of the kids were really engaged. Everybody was, a lot of the kids were raising their hands, and you had the kid who jumps and because he's really excited to share, and that's okay. That's his personality as well. However, we did notice a few kids that were, especially in the back, they were checked out. When you were talking, he wasn't looking, and that happens a lot in classrooms.
Yes.
So, how do you think we can address that? So, let's say you are asking someone. We are asking a question for the whole class, and we only have 3 kids who are, they're on it, they know what to say, or we have half of the class, but then the others. What do you think would be a good way to get everybody into thinking?
So one of the things I started doing was using the popsicle sticks with their names on them, calling them, and so when they know that I'm going to call them randomly, they're all like, oh, okay, I got to be ready because she might call me.
That's good.
And I don't even look at the popsicle sticks. I just shake them up and pull it out, and whoever it is, they have to answer.
That's
and
good.
Really relying on them to say, okay, well, look, you guys are doing this, so I really need you to be on it and paying attention and answering these questions.
That's good.
And so I've been doing that a lot more lately. So.
And that's a really good strategy because now they're like, okay, she might ask me, so I need to pay attention. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about those kids who are struggling and they have an idea of what you're talking about, then you call them and they're really shy and they're not sure if they're going to know the answer? Have you ever heard of a strategy like how can we address that so everybody kind of is on the same page?
I haven't actually heard of a strategy yet, per se. I just basically am like, okay, if a person gets stuck, we're going to help them. Mm-hmm. So really, I tell the kids, we're one big family. So if one of us gets stuck, what do? We help them get out of where they're stuck at. We help them.
Exactly.
And so we just, let's jump in and help them to figure it out.
So that's what I want to focus today. Okay? So there's several strategies. I'm going to give you the most simple one. It's called turn and talk.
Yes.
Okay? So what we do is once you say the question, you can say, go ahead and turn to the person next to you, to your shoulder partner, and then work together what the answer is going to be.
Okay.
And then we can say your partner A, your partner B. Partner A goes first. What do you think? And then partner B says their answer too. So for those kids who don't remember, who are too shy, are not sure if they know the answer, at least they get to hear from someone. Mm-hmm. And if none of them know it, maybe they get to hear from the kid across, and that kind of gives them like a reminder of, oh yeah, it's this or that.
Yes. Okay.
So that would be one that when you start those questions, because you had great questions, then that gives them kind of an idea, and it lowers their, some people get the stress level. Yes. So now they can feel more relaxed, and it's okay. And if I made a mistake, I did it only with one partner instead of the whole classroom.
That's true. Okay.
Right? And then the last piece would be, I like how you started to model with the pictures on the board and you model the problem. I did notice how, and it's okay to have one problem in the baggie, but in some tables only one kid was reading the problem. Yeah. And the other kids, the rest of the table, they had to hear you, but some of them were like, yes. I'm not. How do you think we could make sure, because that's another piece of engaging the kids. How can we make sure that everybody knows about the problem? Everybody is really engaged. And that is not too hard for you.
I tried to put it on the overhead with the hover cam, which kind of worked, but I wasn't sure, so I tried it differently this afternoon. So I'm still kind of working that out because I don't know what's going to work well for each class. Is so different.
Yes.
My class is so different from Miss West's class. So in the morning I could do that. In the afternoon it would work. But when I have my class in the morning, I can do that. Okay. But in the afternoon I can't do that either. So it's like just the time of day is very hard to get them engaged. Because in the afternoon they're so tired, they're so wiry.
They had lunch probably.
Yeah, and they're like,
yes.
Gotta do math again. I'm like, yes, we're doing math again. So getting them excited is really, really difficult.
Hard. It takes an extra step, probably an extra bit of energy from you to kind of transfer that to them.
Yeah, just really kind of getting engaged in them and say, okay, how are you guys doing? And my class was really, they were really good today. I was very surprised. Normally they're like, I do math.
I think you were able to transfer your energy today into them, and I wonder if that kind of like, woohoo.
I hope so. I try to keep a good, spirit. Yeah. By the end of the day, I'm tired, but when friendly kids, I want to be, happy and outgoing and just, really excited about what we're doing, because I really like. I've never been a math person, but I'm really liking the math and the science and stuff like that. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right now. So, I'm like,
All right. So what I'm gonna do is just a recap of what we discussed.
Okay.
We think you had an amazing lesson, that you've grown a lot, and that there are two pieces that we talk about or discuss today about which will be a little bit of growing or strategies we're sharing for you to continue engaging in the classroom. So one would be the turn and talk, and we can think of more strategies later on, but that would be the easiest.
Okay.
Turn and talk every time you ask questions. And then the second would be the visual aids. Okay. So make sure that if you're reading a problem, you put it, which you try to do, but then the computer's not working. Display the problem on the whiteboard. Okay. Use the anchor chart that you had, that awesome anchor chart.
Oh, yeah.
If you can just keep it down there in front of the whiteboard as you're teaching for the rest of the unit, that would be amazing. Because the kids can have that visual aid. Or sometimes as the kids are talking, you can take notes, something quick that won't take much time. So multiplication is putting together, division is separating. So they're getting used to seeing those vocabulary words, and then they'll remember them more next time you ask.
Okay.
So out of the two, and you don't have to decide right now, I kind of want you to think like, I really want to start implementing this for a week and see how that goes.
I really want to start implementing the turn and talk. I know that.
Okay.
I really want to do that because I really want them to get. I'm kind of old school in the fact that if you're talking, you can't listen. But I want them to be able to to engage with each other so they can use each other to learn off of each other. That's important.
Yeah.
It's important for them to know that, even the ones, because I have a couple in there that are struggling. They don't look like they're struggling, but they're struggling. Their hands are up, and they're struggling. And I know they're struggling. And so I think if they're turning and talking to their partner, and especially if they're talking across ways, I think even with the turn and talks, I might have to switch some people around. So I have a couple people sitting next to each other. They're both really struggling. So I'm like, I don't know if you're talking to each other is going to help you, or if it's going to
create more gaps.
Create a different problem. But
and like I said, there's a ton of strategies. Like one of them, you can even get them out of the seats, and then you have two lines. So this is a line of kids, this is another line of kids, and they're facing each other, and then that's how they do the turn and talk. There's a bunch. But Kagan strategies. We want to move this once you feel more comfortable with having kids moving around the classroom.
Okay.
It's kind of, once you feel like, okay, everybody's listening and we're not wasting much time, then we can move to things like that.
Okay.
But let's say if on the table, they can always talk to the person in front. Another thing you can do is get little, like the geometric shapes, pattern blocks, or even... Yeah, pattern blocks would be a good way to do it. You can give one to everybody. Like, let's say 3 kids get the rhombus, 3 kids get the triangle, 3 kids get the circles. This one will require sending up too. And now everybody go ahead and find your partner that has the same shape.
Oh, okay.
And now they become partners.
Oh, very cool. I can do that.
Or you can do that with numbers or something like that. You can count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the 2s together, all the 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, all the 1s together, all the 2s together. Oh, okay. Awesome. So, she has the book with the Kagan strategies, which have...
We'll look through it together.
Even the little cards, the 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of, I forgot what those are called. That'd be great too.
Yeah.
And we can show how to do that. So.
Okay.
But I really, really enjoyed it. I was so happy to be there and really thankful that you allowed me to be there today.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for helping me.
Oh, no.
I really love modeling and really love being able to see.
If you want to say something, let it go. Do you want to say something else?
No,
I still
think
no?
you could put it
Oh,
on
okay.
to
Pause it.
Oh, pause.
It's running.
No. No, I was going to add to the 1, 2, 3, 4. So for a quick turn and talk, the way you can use that is if you're seeing in that lesson, you said a couple of people sometimes struggle with each other. Okay, so for this quick turn and talk, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2s and 4s turn and talk. And that way you can, and then what you can also do to help build that capacity within that table group is, okay, now 2s and 4s and 1s and 3s have talked. All of you go ahead and talk about, to share out, to see whether you guys are on the same track or not. You know what I mean? So then you've got a whole table of having talked about it and ready to share out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Something else that I used was a 4-corner idea where just to engage them physically, because some kids just need that movement. I'd have an answer for each corner, and they would have to go to their corner and defend their answer they would have to talk amongst themselves, and then they would have to defend their answer as to why they chose that. So there's another way to engage students, where they talk to each other, they learn from each other. Sometimes students would leave their corner and go to that other corner because they defended it well and they agree with them. So it was really something that was very powerful but quick. It could be really quick to do. Have those procedures down.
So like I said, there's a ton of really cool strategies, and then the kids can, especially if they come tired, now they're moving around and they're getting more engaged into thinking how to answer questions, and then you can have that. But that comes with time. So let's start focusing with the partner talk. You introduce that one, and then we move on, and then okay, now let's do it as a table. Now we're gonna stand up and we're gonna do the 4 partners. We're gonna do these lines, and we can bring a whole lot more games or make you a list later on.
Okay.
And then with that way you have the students that are not participating. Majority of the time they're not, because they're lost at some point and they're not getting 100%. So you have those now students that are not only participating by engaging with other students, but they're also gaining confidence in what the conversation is within the classroom,
Okay. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna say it's 14:50. Say this. I can edit it. All right. So thank you so much, Miss Davis, seriously, for the time. Thank you. We really appreciate the job you're doing with the kids. We know you're doing, and this comes from the heart. We know you're doing a lot of sacrifices to do this, and I'm just thankful for you for being able to impact the kids and be someone who's going to guide them on the right path. So I just want to say one more time, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And your willingness to grow and to
Yes.
learn is amazing, and it's appreciated.
Yes.
Good quality